This educational series is about the reversing out of a competition, what some of the pitfalls and things that happen to people after competition in terms of food, training, mindset, relationship to oneself, and how we can mitigate some of the issues that come from competitions, and how we can get back into some sort of semblance of normality life without completely losing the plot. Part 1 is reverse dieting. Now, I've talked about reverse dieting before, but if you haven't heard of this, what it is, it's basically after a really hard diet, like competing in a bodybuilding show where you have to drop our calories very, very low, and it can be quite slow in doing this for some people. Some people really struggle coming out of a competition to build their calories back up to a normal level, while other people can come out of a competition, increase their calories relatively quickly, and not put on heaps and heaps of body fat. But what we do know is that reverse dieting works. It has been proven on many, many case studies that when we come out of a hard calorie deficit diet and we slowly over time increase our calories a little bit at a time, we have a much better response in terms of our mood, in terms of our ability to gain muscle and keep our body fat lower. And we've seen time and time again, when someone doesn't reverse properly, they blow out very, very easily. Things like sugars can be a major trigger for some people, and they can have a little bit of sugar and be completely set off. And then they start binging, overeating, and next thing you know, you've literally put on 10 kilos in 1 week. Tips that can help you is having an off meal at the end of the week. So you allow yourself to have that off meal that you've been craving for and looking for so long. So don't deny yourself of that, but don't overindulge in it. Can be a little bit of a tricky one though. There's a supplement you can also take called chromium. So if you're having high sugar cravings, this generally is a blood sugar level issue as well. Taking the chromium can actually really help you lower your cravings for sugar so you can be more compliant on your diets. Tracking things. So a lot of the time we would come out of diets and we think, oh, I just want to eat whatever I want to eat and I want to be not told what to eat all the time. Now, the issue with this is that there's no real consistency and there's no real tracking accountability to it. And it's so easy to overeat. So having some form of tracking is super important for your progress and your sustainability long term. And look, the food's not going anywhere. It's going to be there within the next 1 to 4 weeks, however long it takes you to get to the position where you can, and to set you up for the next competition if that's what you choose to do. So reversing is crucial to your success, not only for competing in the future, but also for your life. Part 2 of our post-comp series. Nutrition considerations in terms of the food you're eating and introducing new foods into your diet. Having a varied and balanced diet is super important for your general health, making sure you're getting enough macronutrients, micronutrients into your day, so we are keeping our body as optimal as possible and as healthy as possible. Right, when you're in comp, we are not healthy. We are not optimal at all. We are starving, and if we keep going that way, we would eventually die. We're going to starve and die if you're in comp prep all the time. It is not healthy. So, and now it is really important to reverse very, very well in our diet, which I covered in my last series, and also start introducing new food groups into your plan. We don't want to go from 0 to 100 overnight. We want to slowly incorporate new types of foods because, again, you're going to be really sensitive to different things coming out of a calorie deficit diet. So by slowly introducing new foods into your diet, it's not going to trigger or set you off or throw you off in terms of being able to maintain that diet. We generally look to slowly increase your carbohydrate intake and slowly increase your fat levels, because these are some of the things that really get reduced a lot when calorie deficits are happening. By increasing these, you're going to feel a lot more energetic, have a lot more energy, you're going to feel a lot more happier within yourself and mentally more stable as well. Of course, we're going to make sure we're having a high protein diet, but that's throughout the whole comp prep as well. Keeping a high protein diet allows us to maintain muscle mass, our lean body mass, which is obviously the most important thing in competing in any calorie deficit diet. But also then we're going to allow us to start building more muscle post-comp. Now, when we come out of a hard calorie deficit diet, you're going to be a lot more respondent to different stimuluses. So we start giving you a bit more food, a bit more protein, fueling your body for your training sessions with good carbs, good fats. You're going to respond really, really well to this. It's a really crucial time coming out of a comp to make sure you're hitting your reverse diet really well and getting some really good training sessions in, because you are going to grow faster than what you ever have grown before coming out of a comp and nailing all these foods. We want to focus on nutrition dense type foods. Foods that have good macros in them. They're not processed. They're more whole food meals. They're going to make you feel more full and give you a lot more energy and nutrients for your body. Of course, you're going to want some freedom with your food as well, and that's fine. We can introduce new options as we go and allow you to go out and have a dinner off with your friends, have a brunch, whatever it is that you're looking to do. But it's all about balance, especially right now. It's super crucial that we don't go in excess, because again, you're going to be super sensitive to everything, an ultra responder. You're going to put on fat a lot faster than what you would normally do because of the metabolic adaptation that has happened during a calorie deficit. As our calories go down, so does our metabolic rate. As our calories go up, so does our metabolic rate, but it is slow and takes a while to respond fully. So if we go up too fast too soon, our metabolic rate is still going to be low. So with our coaching, we introduce new types of foods, offer more flexibility with the meals, and definitely get you into having an off meal at least once or two every 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the person and how they're tracking. Part 3 of our post-comp series. This one I'm talking about mindset and mental health coming out of a hard restrictive calorie deficit or a bodybuilding type competition. Now, in bodybuilding in particular, you're working for so long to look a certain way, to have very little body fat and be judged on your looks completely up on stage, which is a very bizarre thing. We are asking other people to judge us purely on our appearance. And this can really warp our mind and our mindset around how we view ourselves. As we come out of a comp, we're going to start putting on weight. We're going to be heavier. We're not going to be as hard and as dry. And we're going to put on a little bit of body fat as well. That's okay. It is normal and you need to do that. But mentally, it can be really, really challenging to overcome these changes in our body. So having a really open and honest discussion with your coaches and letting them know how you feel is really important. Understanding that it's part of the journey and part of the process in terms of improving yourself for the next time. Look, if we just stayed shredded 24/7, your ability to grow and build muscle is going to be reduced. We want to improve each year. So if we're doing show after show and not really improving, well, what is the point? Where are we growing? We're not. We're just doing the same thing over and over again, and it's somehow expecting a different result. Often people can go through what's called post-comp blues. Now, this is something that affects a lot of people and something that's not really talked about as well. So after we've focused on a certain event for so long and our whole lives have been consumed by this, after that event's finished and there's nothing else to go on to anytime soon, well, you kind of get a little bit lost and you don't really have your drive, your dedication to achieve something really, really meaningful to you. This can often lead to feeling a little bit sad, a little bit lost in terms of your training and what you need to do. And it can also make it quite challenging in terms of sticking to your food, because you have no immediate goal now. So why does it matter if you eat all the McDonald's in the world? Well, the issue is that if we don't come up with a new goal, a new strategy, a new plan of attack, we're going to flounder in life. And it's going to affect more than just your training, more than just your nutrition. It's going to affect your mindset, your body, your relationship to yourself, your partner, your kids, etc. So it's really important that we do shift our focus slightly and say, okay, I'm not looking to look a certain way now. Now I'm looking to optimize my health. I'm looking to optimize my training. And to do that, I need to fuel myself, get good recovery, and train really well in the gym. And I need to eat good food to do that. And just understand that it's kind of like an emotional roller coaster. Some days you're going to be on top of the world, look at yourself in the mirror and go, yeah, I'm looking awesome. I can't wait to get on stage. The next day you'll look exactly the same, but you'll feel like you're looking like a fat piece of lard. You'll look in the mirror and go, oh my God, I'm not ready. I'm not lean enough. All these other issues come up. And it's really just in our heads. Allow your coach to be the person to say, you're okay. Okay. We are on track. We need to push harder. Whatever it is that needs to happen. Some of the things you can do to help you relax, and relaxing is a really important part of competition prep as well, because if we're always highly stressed, we're going to maintain a really high cortisol level, which isn't good for weight loss. So we need to have some form of relaxation at the same time while we're burning both ends of our candle. It's a really hard thing to do, but having a bath, going to get a massage, listening to nice music that kind of chills you out, these little things can really add up in terms of helping lower the cortisol level, get them back to a normal level, and allowing our body to do what it needs to do. Again, if anyone is finding coming out of a comp that they're still feeling down weeks later, I would highly recommend getting in to see someone like a counselor and talking about it. You don't need to suffer in silence, and there is ways to overcome these things. There's many courses and other people that can help with your mindset and the mentality around how you're feeling about yourself. Don't just sit there and think you'll get over it, because what if you don't? Okay. Just the way you want to improve in your training and your physique, we need to put that same emphasis on our mind to continuously develop and evolve our mindset and relationship to ourselves. Again, with our coaching, this is something we focus a lot on in terms of with our athletes, is how are they going to reverse out of this comp. Their mindset, their nutrition, and everything else involved is a big focus for us, because we want to make sure that all of our athletes are coming out of a comp with a really clear understanding of what's going to happen and what's involved and what they need to do. Join me for next episode, which is training adjustments. Part 4 of our post-comp video series, training adjustments. Now, when we're in prep, often people get a bit disheartened with their training because they start lacking energy and strength to do what they used to be able to do. That's normal. It's part of prep, especially towards the end. What you need to focus on in that prep time is the contraction of the muscle and really isolating and controlling the exercise. Don't focus on how much weight you're lifting. You can get just as much benefit from slowing things down and focusing on the actual squeeze and contraction of that muscle and holding it than you will just pushing weight. Now we come out of a comp and we start feeding you a bit more food, a bit more carbs, get your energy up higher, and we can start incorporating different types of exercises as well. So often with preps, I will start reducing really heavy compound lifts like deadlifts and squats, because your joints just aren't as supple and able to use really heavy lifts anymore. But for the most part, I do like to reduce a lot of the really heavy compound lifts and make sure we're doing a little bit safer training. Now we start getting you more food, get a bit more strength back into you. Now we can start reintroducing these other lifts that were really, really heavy for you, like a deadlift, like a squat, because we can start really focusing on the growth side of things and the strength side of things again. You've got more energy and less stress around a competition that's coming up. However, for the first week coming out of a bodybuilding show or a really hard calorie deficit, you want to be careful with your body. It is going to be a little bit more brittle, a little bit more easily injured from little things, just because we've put it through a lot. Allow it a few days at least to recover. Maybe that means taking 3-4 days off the gym if you need it, but don't go from 0 to 100 again, okay? Start building things back up slowly over time. Allow your body to adapt and adjust to the training stimulus that you're putting it through. Start incorporating new exercises, heavier exercises slowly over time, so we don't go out of a comp the next day into doing PBs on fucking squats. It's not going to go very well for you. But if we can slowly build the training and the intensity up over a couple of weeks, months, potentially, you're going to have a way better response from it. Personally, I actually take a wee while to get all my strength back up, probably around 2 months. That's okay. I'm still going to get good growth, good hypertrophy through my training, because I'm focused on the contraction and the squeeze of the muscle and how much intensity I can put into that exercise. Just because it might not be as heavy as it used to be doesn't mean we're not making progress. So again, with our coaching style, we will slowly start to intensify your training sessions as well, increasing more strength focus and helping you build to the next stage in terms of competing, in terms of improving your body and your shape.